Over 1,000 international experts criticized the British government's strategy of opening up as an unethical experiment and warn of the consequences. Boris Johnson is serious. According to the decision of the government in London, all corona restrictions in the largest country in Great Britain are to be lifted today. Despite a current incidence of over 400 in the UK, England is sticking to its far-reaching opening strategy and repeal of the mask requirement and distance rules. International researchers and healthcare professionals have now called this a threat to the world. At the beginning of the month, British doctors and scientists convened a crisis summit at which the government's decision was heatedly discussed. On this basis, an open letter was published in one of the oldest medical journals in the world, The Lancet, which has so far been signed by over 1,000 professionals, including professors, clinical staff, and scientific advisors from international countries such as New Zealand, Israel, or Italy. This is reported by the British newspaper The Guardian. In it, the undersigned warn that Boris Johnson's government decision was dangerous and premature. Even if the number of deaths has decreased compared to the number of infections, there are still deaths and people who suffer serious long-term effects from an illness, says the open letter. At the crisis summit that preceded the open letter, the undersigned Professor Christina Pagel, head of department at University College London, emphasized, Great Britain is a global transport hub. This means that every variant that is established in this country is quickly distributed to the rest of the world. UK policy affects not only us, but the rest of the world as well. The open letter to Boris Johnson and his government was also supported by Michael Baker, who, as Professor of Public Health at the University of Otago in southern New Zealand, also advises the local government on health issues. For us in New Zealand, Great Britain has always had a pioneering status in terms of scientific expertise, emphasized Baker. It's all the more remarkable that one no longer even follows the basic principles of public health. The British government's medical advisor, Chris Whitty, also spoke up last week. We shouldn't underestimate the fact that we could get into trouble again surprisingly quickly, the German press agency quoted the health expert as saying. Prime Minister Boris Johnson had previously warned against throwing all caution overboard if the distance rules and mask requirements end today. Nightclubs open and there is no longer an upper limit for participants at events. Currently, the number of new infections across the UK is back over 50,000 a day. A scientific advisory committee assumes at least 1,000 corona patients who come to clinics every day when the easing in England comes into force. Infections that can be traced back to infections during the European Football Championship games could also play a role in the rapidly increasing number of cases. And I'll see you in my next video. Bis gleich.